Hey, it's Clay Trader, and this will be a video chart on SGDH, SGD Holdings Limited. Before I get started, I would like to note to please check my IRP disclaimer. With that being said, I want to kick things off by going over the press release that the company put out today, and it'll kind of make sense with the chart and why the chart made the big move today. But in a nutshell, the company released this press release, and the market took it as very bullish, as the chart will, justify and show us. But real quick, I'm not going to break this down in great detail, but the company has been working on reducing their debt, and obviously that's a good thing. So I'd encourage you to definitely pull this up, whether it be on Yahoo Finance or Google or any of those sources, and read through this press release. And like I said, the question of, what did the market think about it was definitely answered today. All we have to do is check out that volume bar right there, and that pretty much answers the questions, and then you can see that the price definitely made a nice move today. Just real quick, before I get into the current action, want to break down a little educational example because this chart does such a good job of doing it. But you can see here the price made a big move up on big volume, just like you want to see. And then here is the key part. Great example of consolidation and volume correlation. What do I mean by that? Well, anytime you see a stock consolidate, you want the volume to dry up and be as small as possible. And sure enough, if we look down here and match that up with the consolidation phase, you can see that during the upwards phase, big volume. During the consolidation phase, volume dropped off quite a bit, and now during this new breakout stage, volume has picked back up. So just a great example and great kind of little quick educational example from a volume analysis standpoint. So just keep that in mind. Now for today's action, real good stuff. Yesterday the price was able to actually break through the key level of 0.03. So that was a resistance, but now it is a level of support. And actually my favorite thing about today's action revolves around this level, and it comes right here. Now I'm sure you're asking, why am I circling that point right there? Well, let's think about penny land in general. Usually when stocks make big moves, when they retrace and test support levels, the supports never hold and the price ends up right back to where it was. But you can see today the price did pull back. It back tested this previous resistance, which is now a support, and it held strong. So that's a great kind of one of those hidden signs that you can look at and see to think, wow, the bulls really do have some strength here. Now at the same time, is this the end all be all support level? No, if the price does drop below there, by no means does that imply that the whole chart is done, because we still do have some other support levels below us. The first one being this maroon line here, which is the 20-day simple moving average. You can see that right here did a good job of acting as a trampoline and bouncing the price up. But at the end of the day, the key level is going to be right here, the 50-period simple moving average. I know there's quite a few longer-term people in this that care about long-term indicators. So as long as the price can stay above this moving average right here, then all is good from the overall perspective. In fact, if you look closely, you can see that it's starting to bend upwards. So that's a good sign. Still work to be done, to keep things, but at the same time, it has begun, and as long as the price is able to remain above this level, then it's going to be able to keep increasing, and that's what you want to see from the overall picture. Now in terms of resistance levels, the price managed to just close above another key level today, which was a 35 cent. So this is technically now a support level, but I'm going to leave this line nice and skinny because yes, it's a support, but at the same time, by no means, if the price drops below it, is that some sort of terrible sign? So yes, it is technically a support now that the price closed above it, but don't be going and jumping out of any windows or anything if the price drops back below it, because the price is just peeking its head above it. Now in terms of key resistance levels, really we had one put in today just based on where the profit takers decided to step in. So I'll make that line a little skinnier because it's showed that there are some profit takers up there. But the key one, which is always the case, is going to be our good buddy here, the 200-day simple moving average. That's up here at 5 cents. So I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, one step at a time. But the first level is going to be right here at 0.0425, and then up here at, basically we'll just call it the 5 cent mark, which is where this level, the 200-day simple moving average, is at. And if we actually pull it back, you can see that it corresponds exactly with where this previous area of lows was. You can see that right here we had a big batch where the price acted as support for a couple weeks right in a row before finally failing right there. So 5 cents if you look back through the history here and then match up the 5 cents with where the moving average is at, it makes sense. So that's going to be the next key level of resistance. That's always a big battleground, but the good thing is with breaks above the 200-day, you can get some nice moves. But in the overall, scheme of things right now, you can see that the chart's making nice moves, consolidating, and has now started to break out to the higher low. So it'll be an interesting chart to see how it continues to develop. But as long as these support levels hold, then things are going to remain in the bull's favor. So if there are any other questions on the chart, please let me know. But once more, this was SGDH, SG Holdings Limited. Thanks for listening.